Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever caught yourself staring at your phone, rereading old messages, or waiting endlessly for a reply that just doesn't come? It feels like you're pouring all your energy into a black hole, doesn't it? You question yourself. Did I say something wrong? Did I do too much? Or am I just not enough? The silence is deafening and it stings. But here's the reality no one tells you. This isn't just about them, it's about you. You're handing over your power to someone who isn't even asking for it. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let those words sink in, because that's the key to everything I'm about to share with you. In this video, I'm giving you 5 compelling reasons why you need to stop texting, stop calling, and stop chasing people who aren't making the same effort for you. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about reclaiming your emotional energy and reminding yourself of one undeniable truth. You are worthy of reciprocation, respect, and genuine care. When you keep reaching out to someone who doesn't respond, you're teaching them how to treat you. And worse, you're teaching yourself that their validation matters more than your self-worth. But what if you stopped? What if instead of waiting for their attention, you poured all that energy back into yourself? Imagine how much lighter, freer, and stronger you'd feel. This video is a wake-up call. It's not easy to stop when you care deeply, but caring for someone else should never come at the expense of caring for yourself. And I promise you this, once you take that first step, you'll see how powerful it feels to focus on your own life, your own growth, and your own happiness. So, if you're tired of waiting, tired of wondering, and ready to reclaim your time and energy, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why stopping is the most empowering choice you can make. Let's dive in. Number 1, they'll wonder, but they won't chase. When you stop texting and calling, something revealing happens. They might notice the silence, but chances are they won't come running after you. And as much as that stings, it's an undeniable truth. It shows you where their priorities lie. Think about it. If you're always the one initiating, always the one putting in the effort, the dynamic is unbalanced. It's not because you're unworthy, but because they've grown accustomed to you carrying the emotional weight of the connection. Your consistent outreach allows them to stay comfortable, knowing they don't have to reciprocate in the same way. Now, when the silence settles in, they might feel a flicker of curiosity or even frustration. Why haven't you texted? Why haven't you called? But here's the thing, they're not feeling this because they've suddenly realized your value. They're feeling this because the pattern they've relied on has shifted. Maya Angelou once said, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. If their reaction to your silence is indifference or a lack of effort, believe that it reflects their priorities, not your worth." This is your moment of clarity. It's not easy, but it's necessary. By stopping, you're creating space to observe, not just their response, but also your own emotional patterns. Why were you chasing so hard? Was it out of genuine connection? Or was it because you tied their attention to your sense of self-worth? Take a step back and sit with these questions. Their silence is not an attack on your value. It's a reflection of their emotional availability. The discomfort you feel when you stop reaching out is an opportunity to grow. It's not about playing games or pretending not to care. It's about breaking free from the cycle of overinvestment. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So, instead of overthinking why they're not chasing, shift your focus to why you've been chasing. Affirm this for yourself. I am worthy of effort and reciprocation. I don't chase. I attract. Write it down, say it out loud, and let it remind you that your value doesn't decrease because someone else fails to recognize it. You're not losing anything by stepping back. In fact, you're gaining clarity, strength, and the chance to protect your energy for those who truly deserve it. Number 2, you'll feel the urge to explain yourself, but don't do it. Let's be honest, when you stop reaching out, it's natural to feel like you owe them an explanation. That little voice creeps in. What if they think I'm ghosting them? Or, I should let them know I'm not trying to play games. And before you know it, you're drafting a message that starts with, "Hey, just so you know." But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your peace. Every time you feel the urge to justify your actions, you're handing over a piece of your power. You're subconsciously asking for their validation, their permission to make a choice that's right for you. Why is it so hard to sit in silence without explaining? It's because we've been conditioned to believe that asserting boundaries without apology is selfish or rude. But boundaries are not walls, they're bridges to self-respect. If you constantly explain your need for space, you're undermining your own strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be one. You don't need to argue or explain why you've chosen to pull back. You simply need to live in alignment with your own needs. When the urge to explain hits, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, why do I feel the need to explain this? What am I afraid of? Often the need to explain comes from a place of guilt or fear of being misunderstood. But those feelings are not your burden to carry. Instead of typing out that long message, practice a mental affirmation. I trust my decision to prioritize myself. My boundaries are valid, with or without explanation. Let that affirmation ground you. Write it down, say it aloud, and drop it in the comments as a reminder of your strength. Remember, silence is not about playing games. It's about reclaiming your time and energy. If they truly value you, they will respect your decision without needing a detailed explanation. Your emotional well-being is not up for debate. You don't need their understanding or approval to take care of yourself. Every time you resist the urge to explain, you're building confidence in your ability to stand firm in your worth. And that's where true power lies. Number 3, stop playing the waiting game and start playing your own game. Let's be honest, the worst part of chasing someone isn't just the waiting. It's the way the waiting takes over your life. You feel like you're stuck in a never-ending loop, constantly checking your phone, replaying their last message, wondering what you could have said or done differently. It's draining. But let's shift the perspective here. Your life doesn't have to revolve around someone else's timeline. When you stop texting and calling, you're not giving up on the connection. You're giving up on the waiting game, and that's a game you were never meant to play. Here's the hard truth. Waiting puts your life on hold. Every minute you spend hoping for a response is a minute you could have invested in yourself. You're living in reaction mode, letting their silence control your emotions. But as Seneca wisely said, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. It's time to shift your focus back to the present, your present. Start by asking yourself, what can I control right now? The answer is simple, your actions. Instead of waiting for their message, focus on creating moments that move your life forward. Reconnect with your goals. Dive into that book you've been meaning to finish, hit the gym, or start a project you've been putting off. The beauty of reclaiming your time is that it shifts the dynamic. Not just with them, but within yourself. You're no longer dependent on their response to feel validated or worthy. You're creating a life that excites and fulfills you, regardless of who's texting back. And here's the unexpected bonus. People are naturally drawn to those who are thriving. When you stop chasing and start focusing on yourself, you project confidence, independence, and self-respect, all of which are magnetic. But that's not the goal. The real goal is to show yourself that you don't need to wait on anyone to feel whole. So the next time you find yourself staring at your phone, stop and ask, what can I do right now to enrich my life? Every moment you reclaim is a victory for your self-worth. Declare it in the comments. I no longer wait. I create my own path. Say it, own it, and let that mindset guide your next move. This is your game now, and you're playing to win. Number 4. They will start realizing your absence, but don't wait for the apology. When you stop texting and calling, your absence becomes noticeable. The dynamic shifts, and they may start to feel the void left by your efforts. It might not happen immediately. It could take weeks or even months, but eventually they'll realize that something is missing. They'll wonder why the person who always reached out has gone silent. However, here's where you need to stay grounded. Don't wait for their apology. Don't put your healing on hold, hoping they'll come back with the perfect words to make everything better. The harsh truth is that not everyone will take accountability for how they made you feel, and many won't even acknowledge the hurt they caused. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. In other words, don't waste time waiting for someone to validate your feelings. Instead, focus on embodying the strength and values you deserve in yourself and others. When they notice your absence, their response may vary. Some might test the waters with casual messages, while others may try to sweep the past under the rug and pick up where things left off. This is where your self-awareness becomes crucial. Ask yourself, what am I looking for in their return? Have they truly changed, or is this just a fleeting moment of realization? You're not obligated to let anyone back into your emotional space without careful consideration. Take your time to evaluate their actions, not just their words. An apology, while nice, doesn't guarantee that they understand or have addressed the root of their behavior. Closure isn't something they can give you. It's something you create for yourself. When they reach out, use it as an opportunity to reflect on your growth, not as a reason to reopen wounds. You've already taken the hardest step by reclaiming your energy. Don't let a moment of doubt undo your progress. Affirm this: I don't need an apology to find peace. My healing is my responsibility. Write it in the comments if you're ready to let go of waiting and embrace your journey. Your strength lies in choosing yourself over their validation. Number 5. The only validation you need is from yourself. Finally, the real kicker. When you stop texting and calling, you'll be forced to confront something important. Do I really need their approval to feel good about myself? You're going to realize just how much of your emotional energy was wrapped up in seeking someone else's validation. That feeling you get when they reply, it feels like a win, right? But here's the problem. That win is temporary. It's like feeding a hunger that never really gets satisfied. When you stop chasing, you start seeing your own worth. You stop needing their validation because you realize, I am enough on my own. You are worthy, not because of their attention, but because of who you are. Make a list of things you love about yourself, your qualities, your strengths, your resilience. Repeat these daily. Whenever you feel that urge to chase someone, remind yourself, I'm already worthy. I don't need anyone else to complete me. The more you affirm this, the more your confidence will grow. So there you have it. The real reason you need to stop texting and calling isn't because you're playing games. It's because you deserve better than to keep chasing someone who isn't prioritizing you. You deserve your own energy, your own time, and your own respect. Now, I know this can be uncomfortable. It's tough. But trust me, the moment you stop chasing, you stop shrinking. You start standing tall on your own, confident in who you are, no apologies needed. If this video hit home for you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more straight talk, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, the moment you stop chasing is the moment you begin to truly live.